It's the ultimate travel guide from the people who know it best. Weekends with Yankee. More than 30 years ago, Simon Pearce moved from Ireland to the small town of Quechee, Vermont, where he bought a former woolen mill dating back to the 1820s. There he established the Simon Pearce Company, one of the few large-scale glassware operations in the U.S., where every piece is still made by hand. The company is now known worldwide and has spawned a thriving retail business, a beautiful restaurant, and a new woodworking offshoot run by one of Simon's sons, Andrew.
My father started the business in Ireland and ran it there for 10 years, and then eventually moved to Vermont and bought this building, which we call the mill. It was an old woolen mill. And our family lived upstairs in an apartment for the first 4 years while we were getting things off the ground. So we have this really fun family tradition in our family of working for our fathers and then going off and finding our own way. My father grew up working for his father, Philip, at Shanagary Pottery. I spent 10 years working for my dad at Simon Pearce, and then eventually went off and started a woodworking business where we make hand-turned wooden bowls. It's a beautiful material to work with, and the glass and wood really complement each other on the table.
Employing 40-plus glassmakers, Simon Pearce's studio is one of the last large-scale hand-blown glass producers in the country.
This is eventually going to be the rim of the glass that I'm squeezing down.
The company uses the same glass blowing techniques that have been used for thousands of years. Here in Quechee, they make glasses, vases, and many other kinds of glassware, each piece one of a kind.
We eyeball all of our measurements there, so there is going to be a little bit of variety, one glass to another, but when we're doing our job well, they should all match up very closely. Each one is an individual glass, so if you buy yourself a full set, you'll definitely have your favorite in the set. But hopefully it's something that only you are going to recognize that's going to maintain it your favorite.
There's a lot of similarities in glassmaking and woodworking. The raw material is incredibly important in both situations. Simon Pearce uses only the finest raw materials to get a really beautiful silver color in the glass. In the woodworking that we do, we use a grade B veneer log. So we take pretty much the nicest quality log that you can get.
Andrew Pearce has his shop in Heartland, Vermont, just down the road from his father's shop in Quechee.
My dad and I have a wonderful working relationship, and he does come to my shop very often, and we talk about designs and machinery and work on things together. It's a really great feeling to be able to take a raw material like wood, which is a renewable resource, and make it into something that's really beautiful.
Most of the bowls that he makes are made out of cherry or walnut, trees grown in the Northeast.
There is something mesmerizing about cutting through wood on a bowl lathe.
Andrew created a rough-out lathe, which allows his woodworkers to cut several bowls from a single block of wood, then finish the bowls by hand for a more distinctive look and feel.
When you're doing it properly and you have a really sharp tool and the RPMs of the machine are spinning correctly and the wood is perfect, you're peeling the shavings away. It peels through the wood as it goes around the corner. And when you do it right, it is so, so satisfying. We have people with their actual hands making things every day, and we don't just print things off on a machine the way a lot of society is going toward. Watching people make things and having that talent and that skill is super important, and that's something that we shouldn't ever forget.